There are many decision-making models and processes in the field of instructional design. You can choose or modify existing decision-making processes that fit into your evaluation projects and purposes. For this course, multiple assessments and decision-making processes in the field have been integrated to meet the course outcomes. Understanding this decision-making process is important because you will complete each phase of the process for all your assignments in this class, case study, and your own project. If you successfully complete each phase of the process, you will achieve the course outcome. In other words, you are able to develop assessment and decision-making skills to improve learning and performance in organization, apply a variety of assessment methods and tools that are driven by sound decision-making theories in the instructional design field, and demonstrate how you use data to make a final decision for your teaching, training, or job to improve learning and performance. The first phase of the decision-making process is determining problems. You will identify learning and performance problems in your organization by conducting a performance analysis. The performance analysis can be conducted by breaking it down into 4 parts: organizational analysis, environmental analysis, gap analysis, and cause analysis. To find out more details about how to conduct a performance analysis, please watch the video Performance Analysis in this course. Using the performance analysis, you will analyze what performance problems your organization has and identify what your organization needs to achieve its goals. Based on the performance analysis results, you will come up with possible interventions to solve the problems you identified. Let's say you are a performance analyst in your organization and needed to determine your organization's problems using a performance analysis. Based on your performance analysis result, you found that training employees is one of the possible interventions to improve performance for your organization. Therefore, you plan to implement the training. Here, I just want to remind you that training is only one of the many options to improve organizational performance. The solution can be related to other interventions such as hiring, compensation, or marketing issues. Let's say you implemented the training intervention as a solution. Then what would you do next? You will evaluate the intervention to judge whether it is effective or not. In other words, whether the training improved employees' learning and performance and ultimately achieved your organizational goals. To evaluate the training intervention, the first thing to do is select appropriate assessment models, as shown on the second phase of the decision-making process on the screen. As I mentioned earlier, there are many assessment models available in the field. For example, Kirkpatrick's 4 levels of evaluation, Brinkerhoff's the success case method, the Burke-Litwin model, and CIPP model. You will choose a model that fits into your assessment and decision-making project. Especially in this course, we are talking about summative assessment models. For your case assignment, you will choose any summative assessment model that fits the case. On the other hand, for your own project assignment, you will use the Phillips ROI model to meet the course outcomes. The third phase of the decision-making process is selecting appropriate types of assessment tools to evaluate the training intervention. You can choose quantitative assessment tools such as a survey, performance rating, or multiple choices, or you can choose qualitative assessment tools such as interview, observation, or focus groups to collect relevant data for your decision-making project. You can also choose to use both quantitative and qualitative data. In this phase, you will develop a data collection plan to find out appropriate assessment tools and major elements and issues related to data collection before your assessment project is implemented. By doing so, you will reduce your time later when data are actually collected. You will also use an appropriate assessment instrument for your assessment tool. For example, if you select a survey tool to collect data, you will use a survey questionnaire to collect the data. If you select a focus group or interview to collect data, you will use interview questions to collect the data. In most cases, you can easily find existing assessment instruments like survey questionnaires that others already created. Then you don't have to create a new assessment instruments for your project. However, sometimes you cannot find any appropriate instruments for your particular project. In this case, you should modify an existing instrument or create the instrument to appropriately assess your project. In addition, when you choose assessment tools for your project, you also need to check the reliability and validity of the assessment tools you will use. This is a very important process to ensure your assessment tools and data collected are reliable and valid. If you evaluate the training intervention without using reliable and valid assessment tools and data, you cannot convince your stakeholders if the data you collected can be useful, accurate, or justifiable for your decision-making project. There are many different types of reliability and validity tests in the field. In this course, you will learn major types of them. For example, to establish reliability, you will learn test to retest, alternate forms, internal consistency, and inter-rater reliability. To establish validity for your assessment tool, you will learn content validity, criterion-related validity, and construct validity. The fourth phase of the decision-making process is identifying cost and benefit variables and calculating ROI. After collecting the relevant data for the training intervention, you will identify cost and benefit variables or data items to calculate the return on investment of the training intervention using Phillips' ROI model. ROI becomes a key factor for decision makers or leaders to determine the financial benefits of their interventions, because it can illustrate the economic gain or loss from the training intervention implemented. Using the ROI results, the decision makers or leaders will determine whether the intervention will be continued, revised, or stopped for the growth of organizational performance. Therefore, it is important to learn how to calculate ROI in this class. To calculate ROI, you will first need to know what the training costs and benefits are. According to Phillips ROI, the training costs include direct and indirect costs, and the training benefits include tangible and intangible benefits. To help identify the training costs and benefits, you will develop an ROI analysis plan using Phillips ROI in this course. This ROI analysis plan helps you understand more detailed information for calculating the ROI from beginning to the end. Based on the plan, you will complete 5 steps of ROI calculation in this class. However, in the real world, it is difficult to accurately identify and calculate the actual cost and benefit items for several reasons. One of the main reasons is that there is a significant lack of professional knowledge and skills to measure ROI. The other main reason is that there is a lack of reliable ROI assessment methods and tools available in the field to especially measure the worth of human behavior. In other words, non-monetary value. Therefore, when you choose and use a ROI model in the field, you should be aware of the criticism around using ROI, including Phillips' ROI model. The last phase of the process is making decisions and suggestions based on the ROI analysis you completed in the previous phases. Based on the ROI data you collected and analyzed, it's time to develop an effective decision-making report. In your report, you will include your decision on the intervention implemented, that is, whether the intervention will be kept, revised, or removed, and also provide your stakeholders with a recommendation on how to improve learning and performance. Before developing the report, it is also important to think about how you effectively communicate with your stakeholders. By communicating with them, you will find out how they want to receive your decision-making report and what information they want to see. You will develop a decision-making report based on their preferences. For example, if your stakeholders want you to have an oral presentation for your decision-making report, you will prepare for the oral presentation. If they want you to have a written report, you will prepare the written report for them. If they want to have a brief meeting, you will prepare the meeting. Sometimes your stakeholders could ask for all. Please keep in mind that it is very important for you to have your stakeholders actively engaged in the decision-making process from the beginning to the end. Trust and open, ongoing communication with your stakeholders is a key factor to collect meaningful and relevant data, reduce bias by collecting multiple points of view, and promote accurate data results. To do so, as shown on the screen, you will make a strategic plan on how to communicate and interact with your stakeholders throughout the project.